So in the last class, we have started the introduction portion of our COA, Computer Organization and Architecture. We have gone through these functional units, and you have seen that input, output, processor, and memory, they form the basic functional units of a computer. Then instructions, you know that instructions are the way by which we instruct the computer to perform some tasks for us, and data is nothing but the operands which has been used by the instructions. Now, input unit are those units which accept input from the outside world. And in the last lecture, I can check that, and I have found that all of you have answered it correctly. Different input devices. And if we talk about some standard input devices, like, keyboard, mouse, microphone, joystick, they are the ones by which we take input from the outside world. Means our computer has been provided input with these devices. Now, memory unit. So we all know that we need memory to execute the instructions, or you can say the execute the program, right? This memory is used for storing the programs and data. And mainly we divide this memory into two classes. First one is primary, and the second one is secondary storage. So ये primary storage क्या है? What is the primary storage or main memory? Can anybody tell me?
Sir, the RAM and ROM of a system.
Basically, if we define it in sentence, then what is that? One particular sentence or statement for this primary storage? Then you can define that this primary storage is nothing but those chunks of memory where the programs must be stored while they are being executed. Am I right? You got it now?
Yes, sir.
क्योंकि रैम जैसे आपने बोला, ठीक है, ये जो मेन मेमोरी है, मेन मेमोरी के बिना आप कोई भी प्रोग्राम एग्जीक्यूट नहीं कर सकते हो, राइट? These are the programs that the program must be stored here when they are being executed. And the characteristics of the primary storage is that it's very fast, no doubt it is fast, and it is volatile also. Now, can you tell me what does it mean by the term volatile? Volatile माने की volatile का मतलब क्या है, कोई बता सकते हो?
Sir, unstable.
Unstable. Okay, good word. And anything else? Can I say it as a permanent? If I'm keeping the data there,
No,
it
sir.
will be permanent? No. Yes or no?
No, sir.
Okay. Good. So that is volatile, right? And fast. Then this is the main important characteristics of primary storage or main memory. This is fast and volatile. And second thing, that this memory is needed to execute any program. So what it consisting of is the large number of semiconductor storage shells. Cells are processed in groups known as wards, and this address of wards, and as for example, RAM and memory access time. And RAM, you know that RAM stands for what? देखो मैंने आप लोगों को ये सब CFS में पढ़ाया था जो.
Random access
Sir,
memory.
random access memory.
Very good. Random access memory. Okay, good. Now ROM stands for
Sir, read-only memory.
Read only memory.
ask us a first question. You don't need to define, you don't need to answer now. You will answer after this lecture. That whether ROM is a part of primary storage or not. क्या ROM primary storage में आते हैं या नहीं? ठीक है? After this lecture, you will answer me with logic. Why that? So, why the reason behind that answer? Well, now memory hierarchy. So we have written here as cache first and then main memory. Now, why I'm writing like this? ये जो मेमोरी हायरार्की है इसमें कैचे को हमने पहले लिखा उसके बाद हमने क्या लिखा है मेन मेमोरी ऐसा क्यों एनी गैस एनी आइडिया
Sir, cache is more faster than the main memory like RAM, and cache is directly connected to the CPU.
well very good so this is yeah because Krishna is right so speed matters okay this memory hierarchy means we are organizing them with respect to speed yes yes or no so ये कैचे है ना सबसे ज्यादा फास्ट अब बाद में ये पूछूंगा अभी नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ ठीक है now secondary storage ये तो what we have just discussed is about primary storage similarly we have secondary storage is of course larger and cheaper because that is not so faster right so secondary storage is larger and cheaper in comparison to primary storage now ALU ALU stands for what arithmetic and logic unit most computer operations we perform in the ALU of our processor, right? And what is the sequence for performing those operations? वो sequence क्या है जिससे हम ये operations को perform करते हैं in ALU? And that sequence is this one. Load the operands into memory, bring them to the processor, perform operation in ALU, store the result back to the memory or retain in the process. ध्यान से ये पूछ सकते हैं कोई भी ठीक है आप लोगों को आना चाहिए चीज कैसे कोई भी ऑपरेशन हम परफॉर्म करते हैं again I'm repeating this load the operands into memory in the very first class I told you what is operand and what is operator again I'm just recalling that fact that suppose A plus B okay ये A और B क्या होगा आपका ऑपरेंड्स राइट एंड ये जो प्लस होगा ये क्या होगा आपका ऑपरेशन और ऑपरेटर
Operator.
ओके ऑपरेटर किसके ऊपर एक्ट कर रहे हैं आपका ऑपरेंड्स के ऊपर
Operand.
ओके यहाँ दो ऑपरेंड्स है तो फिर प्लस किस टाइप का ऑपरेटर होगा
Or
बाइनरी
operator.
binary or okay but if we classify it then two operands are involved here so it will be what you know about the binary means what 0 and 1 तो दूसरा থাকে दो
Yes,
पे
sir.
होता है तो दो ऑपरेंड्स है इसका मतलब क्या है बाइनरी सिमिलरली आप लोगों को ये चीज भी पता होगा हमने किया है प्रोग्रामिंग में x प्लस प्लस याद है ये सब चीज या तो प्लस प्लस
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
x क्या था ये जो
Sir,
प्लस
increment and decrement operator.
good this is an increment operator but the thing is that as it is operating on the single operand so this is one unary operator की कोलू मैं क्या बोला मैंने unary operator क्यों क्योंकि ये एक ही ऑपरेंड के ऊपर एक्ट कर रहा है यहाँ जो प्लस था ये दो ऑपरेंड्स के ऊपर एक्ट कर रहा था और यहाँ जो प्लस प्लस है ये सिंगल ऑपरेंड के ऊपर एक्ट कर रहा है सो सिंगल और यूनियरी ऑपरेटर ओके तो आप लोगों के लिए असाइनमेंट है कि आप लोग टर्शियरी ऑपरेटर के बारे में मुझे बताओगे व्हाट इज टर्शियरी ऑपरेटर एन एग्जांपल ऑफ दैट Now come to back to the sequence. Load the operands into memory. मैंने पहले ही बोला था कि मेमोरी के बिना आप एग्जीक्यूट कुछ भी ऑपरेशन कर ही नहीं सकते हो. तो फर्स्ट थिंग इज दैट load the operands into memory, bring them to the processor. Obviously, processor is the brain of the computer. Everything, whatever the tasks you are performing within computer, that is being actually instructed or executed with the help of the processor, right? So we need to bring them to the processor, and as the operations are arithmetic or logical, so we need to perform this operation in ALU, then store the result back to the memory or retaining in the processor. Okay, ये सीक्वेंस है. आप ये जो है इसमें एक हमने टर्म यूज किया है रजिस्टर. ठीक है, अब ये रजिस्टर क्या है? कैन एनीबॉडी टेल मी व्हाट इज रजिस्टर? आप लोगों को मैंने पूछा कि कैचे क्या है, अच्छे से हम लोगों ने आंसर दिया कि व्हाट इज कैचे. सिमिलरली व्हाट इज रजिस्टर?
Sir, it's similar to cache.
Sir, it is fast storage device. Means CPU.
Okay, good, very good. So after all, register is again one storage unit. Okay, but of course it is very small, but it is faster, right? Because the operations हम perform करते हैं ना, whatever the operations you are performing with the help of some register. ठीक है? आ रहे ना समझ में? ये जो register है, सभी registers जो हम use करते हैं, ये operations के साथ ही related है. We need to perform the operations with the help of those register. तो आंसर आप लोगों का सही है, क्योंकि ये भी एक क्या चीज है? दिस इज अगेन रिलेटेड टू मेमोरी स्टोरेज यूनिट, राइट? ठीक है,
Yes, sir.
ओके. तो दिस wait a minute. Okay, then similarly output units, you know that what are the output units. When I talk about that, this output unit, obviously one thing comes to your mind, that is monitor, then speaker, then printer. These are different output devices, and I got from your answers in yesterday's class that you are very much aware with this output unit. ठीक है, तो एएलयू आपने देख लिया, सीक्वेंस देख लिया, रजिस्टर के बारे में पता लग गया आप लोगों को. ठीक है, अब आते हैं हम कंट्रोल यूनिट. What is control unit? All computer operations are controlled by the control unit. अब कंट्रोल करना मतलब कोई भी ऑपरेशंस को कंट्रोल करना मतलब, that is what actually we mean by control is the way we are going, when that processor is going to execute that operation. Okay, or execute operation karna matlab various things are related, right? Like timing, the timing signals that govern the input output transfers, they are being generated by control unit. And this control unit is distributed throughout the machine. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ एक ही है standing alone. No, this is distributed throughout the machines. So control unit का काम क्या है? To control any operations that is being performed by our process. Now, operations of a computer, no need to define again. You know that accept information in the form of programs, data for input in it, and then we store it in the memory. ठीक है, जो हमने कर लिया है. Second, fetch the information stored in the fetch or fetch. It means what? Retrieve. ठीक है, fetch का मतलब होता है retrieve करना. ठीक है, fetch the information stored in the memory under program control into an ALU, and then the information is processed. Then output the process information through an output unit and control all the activities inside the machine through a control unit. तो इसी तरह हमने सारे यूनिट्स के बारे में, सारे यूनिट्स मतलब क्या था, इनपुट यूनिट, एएलयू, आउटपुट यूनिट, कंट्रोल यूनिट के बारे में जान लिया। ठीक है, तो फिर इनपुट यूनिट हम क्यों यूज करते हैं? कैन यू टेल मी व्हाई इन वन स्टेटमेंट? फर्स्ट,
Sir, for giving the data and input to the program, put to the computer.
ओके, तो प्रोग्राम जो है ना, इंफॉर्मेशन हम प्रोग्राम के रूप में और डाटा जो इनपुट कर रहे हैं हम विद द हेल्प ऑफ इनपुट यूनिट। देन एएलयू किस लिए हमने यूज किया? Why
Sir,
we
to
have
process the data and program.
to perform those operations? Okay, very good. Then O और आउटपुट यूनिट किस लिए हमने यूज किया?
Sir, to display the output.
एंड C, that is control unit, किस लिए हमने यूज किया?
Sir, to
Sir, to
control all the
control.
operations of the computer.
Very good. Okay, so that's the way the operation, any operation inside a computer is performed. Very good. Now let's come to the next topic, basic operational concepts. And this thing as ये important है, ये ध्यान से देखना। A typical instruction, हमने क्या लिखा? At LOCA and R0। ठीक है, at LOCA R0। अब यहाँ क्या हो रहा है? ठीक है, इसको हम हर एक स्टेटमेंट देखेंगे, what actually going on with this instruction. Add the operand at memory location LOCA to the operand in a register R0 in the processor. Place the sum into the register R0. The original contents of the LOCA are preserved. The original contents of R0 is overwritten. Instruction is fetched from the memory into the processor. The operand and LOCA, operand at LOCA is fetched and added to the contents of R0, and the resulting sum is stored in the register R0. Actually, what happened? See, ये इंस्ट्रक्शन को ध्यान से देखना, at LOCA R0. Add the operand at memory location. जो LOCA है ये क्या है? एक पार्टिकुलर मेमोरी लोकेशन है। ठीक है, तो इस पार्टिकुलर लोकेशन में हमने वो ऑपरेंड को रखा, राइट। आप जो और एक मतलब वैल्यू है, ठीक है, वो कहाँ है आपका? ये क्या था? R0। दिस इज ए रजिस्टर।
Register.
ठीक है, आप इनको क्या किया? हमने ऐड किया। ठीक है, LOCA में जो ऑपरेंड था हमने R0 में लाके उसको क्या किया? ऐड किया। ना जो LOCA का ओरिजिनल चीज था वो प्रिजर्व रखा है, उसमें कोई भी हमने सेंस नहीं किया है। बट R0 में जो ओरिजिनल कंटेंट था क्या वो अभी भी सेम है?
No,
No,
sir.
No, sir.
It's overwritten.
it is overwritten, क्योंकि LOCA का जो कंटेंट था और R0 का जो कंटेंट था पहले से, उन दोनों को ऐड करके हमने फिर से कहाँ रखा है? अभी तक R0 में रखा है। तो क्या हो गया? R0 का जो ओरिजिनल कंटेंट था दैट इज बीइंग ओवररिटन। ठीक है, तो ये एक सिंपल सा टाइप इंस्ट्रक्शन है। ऐसा नहीं कि हर एक इंस्ट्रक्शन will take this form. There may be means you will study later that what are the different types of instruction, but this is a typical one. When it comes for giving an example of a typical instruction, you may cite this one. Similarly, sub for subtraction, MUL for multiplication, we'll get to know about those different operations in some later classes. Right? So instruction is fetched from the memory into the processor. Instruction को हमने fetch किया, ठीक है? Then operand at location is fetch. Fetch का meaning मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले बताया था. What does it mean by fetch?
Sir, retrieving the data.
Very good, retrieving the data. The operand at loca is fetched मतलब क्या है, LOCA जो लोकेशन है उसमें जो ऑपरेंड था उसको हमने फेच किया, ठीक है। देन एडेड टू द कंटेंट्स ऑफ R0, और जो साम मिला हमें, साम क्यों मिला, बिकॉज यहाँ ऑपरेटर क्या है, एड, ए डबल
add
डी, ओके। और ये जो ऑपरेटर के कारण जो अब साम हुआ वो कहाँ हमने रखा है फिर से,
R0.
R0 में, okay. This is a typical instruction. So with this, I'm stopping right here. I hope whatever the topics we have discussed today is now clear to you. Thank you.